You've probably heard of rogue planets before. Essentially, they're planets without stars, free-floating through the galaxy, or even in intergalactic space. At first glance, you'd probably consider most rogue planets similar to one another. Unlike planets around stars, they don't have a source of heat or light, so they're probably all cold, dark, and dead. Gas giant, ice giant, or rocky planet, it doesn't matter. It's lonely life in the world floating through the void. But this is just like planets around stars, there's a variety of environments rogue planets can have. They can be hot and low, and have nearly the diversity of planets around stars. This video will be an exploration of some of the most interesting rogue planets we've ever discovered. Because I usually only research planets around stars, this will be my first vlog on this channel. A few types of rogue planets will be covered by Trology, a fellow channel that's extremely underrated. The link to the channel will be in the pinned comment, and you'll hear him talk about interesting rogue planets later in the video. Anyway, before completing specific rogue planets, we have to think about how they form. I'm sure many of you have heard this before. There are two many rogue planets that form. They either form star food, but without enough material to become stars, or they get ejected into star systems. So far, a lot more about the first option. We've found that tons of rogue planets that are likely never part of star systems. Most of these are large hot gas giants. However, it's unclear if these should be called planet or not. The definition of planet is complicated. For an object to be a planet, it doesn't just need to be planet size, it also depends on how it forms. Planets that form the way stuff around dwarf form are usually not considered to be planets. Rather, the ones we know of are often referred to as sub-brown dwarfs. A sub-brown dwarf is essentially an object the size of a planet that forms like a star. But there isn't really consensus for all sub-brown dwarfs that orbit stars. Luckily, we can avoid that today because we aren't talking about planets orbiting stars until and that brings me to the first rogue planet of this video, WISE 0055-0714. Keep in mind that in reality, this planet is completely dark, but I'm depicting it as fully illuminated just to make it easy to see. It's not this bright in real life. WISE 0855-0714 is the closest sub-brown and rogue planet to Earth. At least it is for now, because more will be discovered closer to us at this point. It's about 7.4 light years away from us, which makes it the fourth closest system to us after Alpha Centauri, Barnard Star, and 1116. Its mass is not well known, but it's between 3 and 10 supermasses. It has a temperature of about 11 degrees Celsius or 51 degrees Fahrenheit. You might notice something there. WISE 0855 and 0714 doesn't have a star. It's light years away.